Australia. There's a seagull. It's a baby seagull. See the brown on its wings? Apparently that indicates a baby seagull. Very brave, standing on one leg. It's very smart. One of the skills of being in a relationship, particularly when you get to, well, 50s, 60s, things aren't always as they appear. And this is very sad and unfortunate because you're getting to the part of your life where there's really no time to be mucking around. I am talking about the things that people have in the closet that they're able to hide, but they're usually only able to hide these things for a certain amount of time because life has a way of squeezing us so that the things that we are not trying to resolve pop. They'll just pop. Now, one of the big things that I've found in later life has been, and probably the most critical thing, has been covert emotional incest. When a parent sets up a child as a surrogate partner. Now, if you're not aware of covert emotional incest and what it can do and what it does to people, well, it can cause terrible trauma, horrible trauma, because you're the third wheel in what's supposed to be a two-wheel relationship. Now, these people have a wonderful way of being able to hide or chameleonize or disguise the things that they know that they have that are weaknesses. The things that they know that it could cause them conflict in a romantic relationship. And for the most part, they can get away with it if they put themselves in a hit and run situation. And what I mean by hit and run is in and out fast. Visit fast, leave fast. Get it done quick. Leave fast, in and out till the next time. But if the more time you seem to spend with somebody, the more opportunity these dysfunctions have to expose themselves, and they will. It's just how God has made it. He's made it in a way in which usually our partner will give us the opportunity to improve. And one of the first signs when an issue comes to the fore that a partner does not want to improve is resistance. Another one is withdrawal. Another one is silence. And let me just make this clear. Silence can be used by narcissists. It's one of the most cruelest weapons a narcissist has in their weaponry, is silence, closely followed by withdrawal, usually intertwined. And when you encounter silence and withdrawal, you know you're in trouble, because the person's not going to want to deal with the issue that's been raised. And let's make this clear. Make sure if you're raising issues, they're worthy of the upturn that they're going to cause, because people don't want to be confronted with things. I don't want to be confronted with things unless it's absolutely necessary for the improvement of my relationship, romantic relationship. Problem with that is not many people have the courage to bring to light what is in their mind and heart that's conflicting with them, because where there's light, there's heat, and where there's heat, it can get uncomfortable, very uncomfortable, might I say. Very, very uncomfortable indeed, which is not what we're in a relationship for. It's just not what we're in a relationship for. We're not in a relationship to feel uncomfortable, but we are and should be open to the idea that within a relationship we're willing to grow. And that's not always the case. People don't like to grow. Sometimes you get to a point in life where you're in the comfortable zone. You're just comfortable with where you're at, like a frog in a pot of cold water that's on the boil. Just doesn't jump out. It just doesn't realize that it needs to get out. And then it boils, and it ended up in the heat anyway, but it ended up cooking, dead. That's similar to what it's like when you're trying to fix things to improve a relationship that the other person's not 100% on board to fix. You'll get apologies, you'll get reason, excuse, you'll get all sorts of different rationales. We'll need to leave it for a while. You'll get avoidance, you'll get all sorts of stuff. You'll get all this mollycoddling, dysfunctional, producing and multiplying behaviour. Don't think sitting there doing nothing and describing it as to be peace is fixing anything. It's not. Doing nothing is just as violent and as wicked as doing something that's negative and destructive. It's equally destructive, but on a passive plane. One's active, one's passive. Both are equally destructive. I'd rather be in a toe-to-toe argument and know what's going on than just be trying to deal with silence. And I'm going to say silence is a warning that you're dealing with a narcissistic character. They don't want to deal with what's going on. That's gonna get worse and more harmful. It's going to get difficult and hard. As a matter of fact, as soon as negative kind of behaviour starts and you know it's not improving anything, it's time to kick people out. Get them out. Get out before you get too intertwined, because it ain't going to change. It's only going to get worse because they don't want to deal with it. People will deal with anything at first. People will deal with whatever they have to at the start to keep things going, to keep things alive, because their needs are being met. So they'll do what they need to and have to sustain that. But let's take issues like the mobile phone. You may as well make a mobile phone in the size of a human body where people can sit there with their arm around it and kiss it and hug it and love it and rub it all over themselves. That's what a mobile phone's actually another person. That's what it is. That's how it works. A mobile phone is another person that you're competing with. And within that person, there's multiple personalities. If you think about it, the mobile phone is the greatest form of multi-personality friendship that anybody could have. You're dealing with multi-personalities, hundreds and thousands of personalities in the palm of your hand. And you're connecting with those personalities in a way in which is influential, which means they're shaping you, influencing you, because you let them, because we choose to. Take drugs, for instance, and alcohol. That's dealing with another person. You're getting a mind-altered state. You're not getting the person that you should be getting. Oh, it all might look grandiose and sound grandiose, and oh, how wonderful is my alcohol, and oh, how wonderful is my dope or my medication or whatever it might be, only to go to the rehabilitation centres and see all the people that have got to get off it, to see the mental health issues as a result of it. Oh, it's all grandiose at the time. Oh, this is my medication for my mental health, and a lot of the time it makes it worse. This is what makes me laugh. They're just making it worse. They're not fixing anything. They're addicts. Oh, but you can't call someone an addict these days. It's medication. There's all ways in which these things can be camouflaged and chameleonized. See that freight train across there? Where is he? There he is. So it's time, I think, that we really got down and dirty and serious with some of this stuff, honestly. Because we'll go along with things while it suits us, and then when it don't suit us anymore, we start to oppose it. I just come out of a relationship where there was shit going on that I didn't mind, but ultimately it worked against me because it wasn't healthy. It just was not healthy. It wasn't going to produce anything good. Put into that dysfunctional family members, and you've got a toxic soup of personalities. It's just going to lead to a disaster, and it did. An absolute scandalous disaster. And they just go on as they were. They default back to their dysfunction and their habits and substances, and they circle around these things, and they're all codependent, and they're all happy with one another, and they're all going down the tube. Straight down the tube. They got nothing except their feelings and their emotions, of which turn against each other intermittently because they know they're living a lie. If you don't believe me, again, go to the rehabilitation centres where these people are being helped. I got a wet bum because of it. Terrible. Go to the rehabilitation places where these people are being helped. That's where you'll see the other side of things. Oh, but people get in their little tribes and they think they're all going well, and oh, we love one another, and look what I'm doing, and all this sort of stuff. Oh, I'm so charitable. A lot of it's just enablement. Well, you might be saying, well, what are you whinging about? What I'm trying to make clear is you've got to be careful who you get involved with, because these underlying dysfunctions will turn around and bite you. They will bite you, and they'll bite you hard. And these people will return to their core dysfunctions, and you'll be standing there the same person that you were when you come along, exactly the same person, and these people will default back to what they're used to and their dysfunction, and you'll be standing there going, what did I get involved with that for? Why did I even end up there? Why did I put myself in that position? The problem with it is when the issues start to rise, you try and confront the issues, and the next thing you've got issues that were resolvable at the beginning of the relationship are now nothing but nitpicking. And you go, oh, no, we're going down. We're going down. That's basically how it works. That's what happens. Things that were fixable at the start, or all of a sudden when everybody's topped up with what they want, all of a sudden, oh no, that's all too difficult. I can't deal with that. Oh no, not now. Now I've got you roped in, or I think I've got you roped in. Depends how alert you are. It depends how aware you are. It depends how smart you are to these devilish devices. These people are demonized. They want to be demonized. I mean, if you haven't got a mental health problem today, you're not normal. That's the trend. You're not normal. You need to have something in your hand that's going to be put in your mouth habitually. Oh no, I can't just sit there and be at peace with myself and breathe fresh air and eat normal food and drink normal water, things that are normal. No, I've got to have something more than that. I've got to have something that's going to numb the pain. Oh no, I've got to have something that's going to make me feel better, not realizing that God's given us each other to help us to improve and to feel peace. Look at these ducks. Wonderful. So there's a lot in the way of relationship sabotage, and a lot of it's predictable, and a lot of the times these people don't mean it. It's just their choices. It's the choices that they've made to live the way that they've chosen to live, and if they can get away with it, they will. They absolutely will, without any hesitation, while ever you let them. And that's wrong also. If you're starting a relationship and you're just letting people do shit because you want to get your foot in the door, that's deceptive. You've got to stand up straight up and go, this is for me or this isn't. Because guaranteed 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the line, there's going to be more stuff come up with it. And particularly with these single mothers. Now, if that's treads on a corn for you, you might need to check yourself. Because we're putting stuff to the side that should have been dealt with years ago. Years and years ago. Because there was no disciplinarian to stand there and go, no, Chad's no good for you. I just watched a thing on a channel called 33 Secrets. His name's Matt. Amazing guy. Put up an article about a beautiful young lady. Lovely. Oh no, but she had to have a strangler. This guy was a strangler on probation and she had to have him. Oh no, she didn't want to have all the nice guys orbiting around. No, she had to have the strangler on probation. That's what she had to have. And she paid a high price for that. A very high price. I don't think I'd like to pick a strangler as a partner, would you? You wouldn't know if you were next. You would not know if you were the next on the card. Do you understand what I mean? When you look at the background of people's behaviour and how their relationships have gone, that's usually a predictor of where you're going to end up. That's usually a fantastic predictor of where you're going to finish up. That's why the Christian life, with its ideals of morality and integrity and everything, they don't work for everyone, but at least they're there. I've been married twice, and neither time did any of the Christian stuff help, because once somebody makes their mind up that they want to go, you're done. Or you want them to go. I mean, some people can drive you to the point where that's it. I've had enough. I can't do this anymore. Relationships are very, very vital important, because once they start to disintegrate, and you're in a position where you need resolve and that other person can't find it, and you begin to become frustrated and then intolerable of it, that's when things get nasty. That's when things, what you'll find is a lot of unaccountable people will say, I just split up with a narcissist. But what they're not saying is, I just split up with somebody I wasn't able to or willing to resolve my problems with. This is Dr. Jason W. Morrison, theologist, New South Wales, Australia, on the Central Coast. Bye for now.